Hallo Leute, willkommen zurück zu Deutschflix. So today we are tackling a tiny problem, well actually a big problem, irregular verbs. So these little rebels just don't like to follow the rules, which makes them tricky for German learners, but keine Sorge, will sort them out together. So what are irregular verbs? So in German, most verbs are nice and predictable, but then we have irregular verbs as known as the rule breakers. So these guys don't like regular conjugations and decide to change their forms, especially in do and as forms. So what we can do is we'll compare the regular verb and irregular verb. So yeah, los geht's. This will be a quick recap for you all. So firstly, I'll write the pronouns in sequence: ish, to, as, wir, ihr, sie. Okay, so what we'll do is let's conjugate the verb gehen because it is a regular verb. So we'll go step by step again. Let's take the root, which will be ge. So in order to identify root in German, all you have to do is drop en from the verb, right? So ge, and I'll just copy paste with all the pronouns. And I hope you all remember that golden rule, which is EST 1010. EST 10 10. So what I will do is I'll just append this rule vertically. So ich gehe, du gehst, es geht, wir gehen, ihr geht, sie gehen. By the way, gehen means to go. Now we will take one irregular verb. Let's take sehen, which you have already seen while doing greetings. So we say no, auf Wiedersehen for goodbye. So it contains the verb sehen, which means to see. Okay, so ideally the conjugation should be like this, that I'll take the root ze, and I will just copy paste this with all the pronouns and then append my rule e st 10 10. But the catch here is Zayn belongs to the category called irregular verb. Now, in irregular verbs, what happens is there is also some change in the root itself. And this irregularity is only with to and as. So only these pronouns have problem. So what I will do is I'll change this e to IE, and even this E will be changed to IE. That means with do, the spelling will look something like this: du siehst. And with as, it will be sieht. Okay, so always remember that irregularity is only with set of pronouns to and as. Now what I will do is to make things a bit easier, no, I'll categorize irregular verbs into 3 sneaky patterns. So let's look at our first pattern. So in the first category, the root, if it contains e, it will change to I. Okay, and yeah, let me also copy paste the pronouns. All right, now let's take the verb geben, which means to give. Geben means to give. So ideally, conjugation should be like this, that I will take the root gape, cape, cape. I'll just copy paste and then append my golden rule, which is EST 1010. So let me write EST 1010. Okay, but this verb geben belongs to the category where E has to change into I, which means that in case of do and as yes, what we will do is we'll change this E to I, and here as well E will be changed to I, and the new conjugation will be du gibst, as yes, gibt. Okay, now based on the same pattern, I'll give you 2 more verbs. So you just have to pause the video and write its conjugation. So the first verb is helfen. I think now you can guess the meaning of helfen. It means to help. And you also have to conjugate. Let's take sprechen, very important verb. Sprechen, which means to speak. Alright, so I hope that was easy. Now I will show you the answers. So irregularity is only with do and as yes. So with do, it becomes hilfst. I have to change E to I. Hilfst. And as yes, hilft. Similarly, du spricht, as yes, spricht. I mean, the pronunciation is same, but you can see the difference in the spelling. We have S here as well. And there's no logic behind it, that why this particular verb is an irregular verb and why do we do it. We simply have to accept it and learn by heart. Okay, so now we will look at another category wherein what we will do is we'll change E again, but this time to IE. Let me just copy paste, pronounce in sequence. And I think now you know what you have to do. So I'll simply give you the verbs. So let's take, we'll take empfehlen. Which means to recommend. And another verb, lesen, very important. Lesen means to read. So I'll show you the answers in 5 seconds. Okay, so I hope you are done with the conjugation. I'll just write the conjugation of empfehlen according to do. So it will be du empfiehlst. And as yes, empfiehlt. So we have to change this I to. So we have to change this E to IE. Okay, and in case of lesen, with do and as yes, it will be same pronunciation, same spelling. In case you have written do least with double S, then you are wrong here. Remember from the regular conjugation episode, if any root is ending in s set, s or the set, we have to drop the s while conjugating with do. So there's no double s here. It will be single s. Do least and as least. Now moving on to our third category, wherein what we will do is we'll change a to a umlauts. Let me just copy paste all the pronouns once again. And I'm giving you a task. You have to pause the video and you have to write the conjugation of, let's take this time, schlafen. Schlafen, you can guess the meaning, to sleep. I'll give you two more. Fahren, again used very frequently in everyday life. It means to drive or to travel. And one last verb, let's take laufen. Laufen means to walk. So I'll show you the answers in 5 seconds. Okay, so now I'll show you the answers. But I have still not conjugated the verbs with to and as. I'll do it right now. So I hope you have added umlauts. So the pronunciation is du schläfst. As schläft. Now in case of fahren, don't say do fast. It will be do fast. As fährt. Now in case of laufen, do and as. Now you must be thinking how to pronounce these. So let's do a quick recap of all the diphthongs we have seen so far. So the diphthong EI, how do we have to pronounce it? EI ending in I. So its pronunciation will be I. This was our first diphthong. Another diphthong was that I and E together. So IE is ending in E. Its pronunciation will be E. Then we saw diphthong E and U together. The German word for German is Deutsch, which contains EU. That means we have to pronounce EU as OE. Similarly, the diphthong A umlaut and U, the pronunciation is again OE. So what will be the pronunciation of this word and this word? So A umlaut U will be OE. We have L in front of it, Loe, and then F, and then ST. Loefst. Similarly, as läuft. Okay. So far we have seen 4 diphthongs. And that's it. We have discussed 3 categories. E changes to I, E changes to IE, and A changes to A umlaut. But see, the thing is, there are also verbs in German language which are completely irregular. Like, there's no predictable pattern. You can't do anything about it. You just have to accept and learn by heart. For example, let's take the verb wissen. Now, wissen means to know. Its conjugation is something like this. You say, Ich weiß. Du weißt. Es weiß. I'm not writing the pronouns. Then wir, it will be same, wissen only. Now with ihr, it will be wisst. Sie, again, wissen. Just look at the pattern. Like this verb is completely irregular. I can give you maybe one more example. Let's take nehmen. Nehmen means to take. So I'll simply write the conjugation. So with ich, easy peasy, no problem. Ich nehme. But with do, you say nimmst. As in there's no H. AZS, nimmt. Wir and ZZ are always sorted. Wir nehmen. Ihr nehmt. ZZ, nehmen. So what you have to memorize here is that with do and AZS it is like this. And in case of wissen, I guess, with ish also it is irregular. Not only with do and AZS. Okay, so now you must be thinking, okay, how will we know that this particular verb is a irregular verb, this particular verb is regular verb, or this is something else only? Like you just have to memorize the conjugation table. Now what you can do is, suppose while doing reading comprehension you come across a new verb. Okay, let's take the new verb begin. So far you do not know the meaning as well, no? So obviously for that you need a dictionary. Now I use this dictionary called Leo. You can see the icon, that lion icon. So I'll click on it. And what I will do is I'll go to the search and write here begin. So my first priority would be to learn the meaning. Begin means to commit something, as in committing mistake, then you need this verb. Now you can also check the conjugation table of begin. All you have to do is click on the verb begin. Now in English you do not have to check the conjugation table. You just have to scroll a little and come to the German section. Now can you see Verb formen, this word, and next to it it is written begin. So I'll again click on begin and see, you got the conjugation. Ich begehe, du begehst, es begeht, wir begehen, ihr begeht, sie begehen, which means that this particular verb is regular verb. There's no irregularity here. On the other hand, let's take laufen. So first priority is to know the meaning. Laufen means to walk or to run. So I'll click on the verb laufen. I'll scroll a little and then we have Verb formen next to it, laufen. I'll again click on laufen and this is the conjugation. And I can clearly see that this verb is irregular verb because there is change in the root itself. Okay. If you're not able to find the conjugation table, then it might be that the user interface is different in maybe Android or iOS device, but it is there both in Android as well as in iOS operating system. Now, you have other options as well to check the conjugation table. For example, you can ask ChatGPT. So what I'll do is I'll ask ChatGPT that write the conjugation table of putzen, which means to clean. So what ChatGPT will do is it will write you the conjugation. So I can say ich putze, du putzt, es putzt, wir putzen, ihr putzt, sie putzen. So you just have to look at the first row because so far we have done only present tense, and we also have to do conjugation in other tenses as well. So for now, just ignore it. You got third option, Google. You can simply ask conjugation of, this time let's take machen itself, and maybe you can go to the images and you'll see the results. Okay, or you can go to multiple links present over here. Okay, so let's come back to this page and write that we mainly saw three categories. E changes to I category, then E changes to IE category, and A changes to A umlaut category, and then we have completely irregular. Which you have to just learn by heart. And that's it. Now you can recognize and conjugate irregular verbs like a pro. So if this helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow for more. Okay, and remember, the best way to master these tricky verbs is to hear them in real conversations. So keep watching, keep practicing, and see you in the next class. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.
Like and subscribe.